Okay, this is our 2x4x7 tent. These are come in different qualities. This is a mid-range one, very sturdy, thick fabric to block light out. These are nice, keep everything nice and compact, and your odor suppressed and stuff like that. For as far as lighting goes in a tent like this, you're talking 250 watt to 400 watt, or an LED equivalent of that. As far as air control and your fan size, we recommend a 4-inch or a 6-inch fan, 175 to about 300 CFM. For this example here, we're using a 4-inch fan that's 175 CFM, and we're using a filter that's also rated at 175 CFM. So it's important to marry the fan and the filter together. You want them within 10 or 15% of the CFM rating. So if you have too big of a fan for the filter, it's not going to appropriately control the odor and not have enough contact time. And similarly, if the filter is too big, the fan's going to be significantly reduced. So in this example, we're hooking up a 175 CFM filter to the fan, and we suggest the fan pulls all the air out of the room. So it's pulling all the air from the grow tent through the filter and out through the fan and into your the rest of your building, or out through the exhaust exit and outside. So we always suggest putting some ductwork on the between the fan and the filter, so a couple of feet, and it just gives a more even draw on the filter. So once you safely secure the ducting in place, just simply tighten it up. So in this example, we've hung the filter high up in the room, so that way the hottest air is being exhausted first. Again, you can put it pretty much anywhere in the tent, but up high is better. In other examples, some people will leave the filter outside of the tent and use the fan to push the air through the filter, but we find this to be the most efficient way for it. As far as plant spacing in a 2x4 tent, you're probably talking anywhere from 1 to 6 plants, again depending on the nature and stature of your plants. As far as lighting goes, again we recommend 250 watt up to 400 watt. We wouldn't really suggest a 600 watt or an air cooled, but some kind of lighting like that, T5 lighting or LED works just as well. What we find handy is using ratchets or pulley systems to hang your lights, and that will make it easier to adjust the height later on as your plants grow. And here we're just using some quick links to secure it from the ceiling. Again, most of these tents will have ample bars and hangers and multiple vent holes for intake air and for just air exchange. So we suggest leaving one of the smaller vents open, or actually installing a small computer-like fan or a 4-inch induct fan to help bring in a gentle breeze. As you can see, there's multiple vents everywhere, and most good tents will have a bottom tray. So this one here has a removable tray to make it easy to clean and to get ready for your next crop. Okay, I'm going to take the light reflector cord and sneak it through one of these vent holes here, and then go out to the ballast. So I'll just feed it down the back wall, and that way we get to keep our ballast and fixture outside of the tent and a little less heat. So now we have our light plugged in, we're ready to go. So most plants will be started or in a vegetative state before they go into the tent. So usually you'll be using T5s or some kind of lower wattage. So you want to acclimatize your plants to the higher wattage of light that you're going to use. So we suggest for plants that are under 4 or 5 inches tall, having the light at least 5 feet away, and then bring it closer a few inches every day. In this case, our plants are established. They're about a foot tall, so we're going to throw them in and keep the light about 4 feet away, and then we'll bring it closer every few days. So the importance of that is that we won't get any tip burn or leaf curling or drying out of the plants, especially with some of the heat that these bulbs can give off. And then of course just acclimatize them to the light. So especially when you're coming from a low light from fluorescent lighting, T5 lighting, or some other type of propagation light. And slowly acclimatize it to it, and just keep an eye on your plants and make sure that they're not being affected by the extra heat and the extra lumen and light output.